Nobody talks about the men who got there late, not because their stories aren't remarkable, but because we live in a culture obsessed with early. The youngest CEO, the 25-year-old millionaire, the prodigy who made it before most people even figured out what they wanted. But here's what that narrative erases. Some of the most psychologically powerful human beings never peaked early. They were just getting started. Think about the last time you compared your life to someone younger and felt that quiet sting of being behind. A coworker, a stranger online, someone half your age already living the life you thought you'd have by now. That feeling isn't random. It's the result of a story you were taught to believe, one that says timing is everything, and if you missed yours, the rest doesn't count. But that story was never built on psychology. It was built on comparison. So what actually happens inside the mind of a man who succeeds late? First, his brain works differently than it used to. Not worse, just different. Psychologists call it crystallized intelligence. Unlike fluid intelligence, the fast, reactive thinking that peaks in your 20s, crystallized intelligence keeps compounding with age. Every failure he's absorbed, every pattern he's recognized, every time he rebuilt after losing something, none of that was wasted time. It was accumulation, and accumulation eventually turns into instinct. Second, he develops something most people never build, an unusually high frustration tolerance. Not because he was born patient, but because life forced him to sit inside discomfort long enough to stop being destroyed by it. At some point, he stopped needing quick results to keep going. He just kept going. And third, the one almost nobody talks about, his motivation shifts completely. Psychologists call this meaning-making. In your 20s, you chase success to prove something, to your parents, to people who doubted you, to yourself. But a man who succeeds late has usually burned through all of that need for proof. What's left isn't ego, it's clarity. And clarity might be one of the most dangerous things a human being can carry. Because once you stop performing for an audience, you finally start building something real. The world will try to convince you that late means behind, that if you haven't built something by a certain age, the window is closing or already closed. But what psychology actually shows is that the men who arrive late often build things that last longer, run deeper, and mean more, because they were never in a rush to impress anyone. So before you decide you're running out of time, ask yourself something. Are you actually behind? Or have you just been measuring yourself against a timeline that was never built for you? If this made you think, the next video will go deeper, because what we explore here isn't motivation, it's the psychology underneath it.